It is a conversation that I've struggled with in the less than 24 hours, asking myself, do I really want to do this? But I know that it might be a word or a conversation that somebody needs to hear. I would plead with you that this video should go far and wide. I really want it to get to places where it should get to. So what is my conversation today? My conversation is, how do my people, my Yoruba people, organize festival in the midst of capture?
Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Come on, rescue us! Donald Trump! We need you! Is the high time come? You are not doing it and you are saying you are performing. Where is the performance here? Every Nigerian should hold the federal government of Nigeria accountable for this.
All right, then we have
They are thinking they don't know what is going on. Like this insecurity now. So you want me to sit down here and tell you and tell you that government is not aware of the source of this insecurity and what is going on? Is that what you want me to believe? Even a market woman can deduce what government is doing with this insecurity. A market woman can interpret the action of government on this insecurity.
All right.
Okay, they say when jungle don't mature, waiting there inside go come outside by force. Yes, that is the situation that Nigeria is now. Especially the Yoruba people, they have focused on themselves now. The truth is coming out from the very Yoruba people. Now they kind of have been saying this thing. Do you want what happened to the Hausas to happen to you? You don't want to listen. All your problem is Igbo. Now, your people don't they tell you now the truth. In fact, the truthful Yorubas among themselves are very angry with the president and with their people, with what is happening now. Let's start from here.
You see, if you are looking for cowards, just go to Yoruba land. They are cowards. 75% of them are cowards. Forget that my name is Sheon. I can tell you for free that they are cowards. Look, if 75% of people are cowards, that means they are cowards. So you may not be coward, but 75% of your people are cowards. That is why you see the headquarters of cowardice is in Yoruba land. They can make mouths. They are mouth makers. And the funny thing is that you keep hating on Igbos. You keep blaming Igbos. And you have a problem at your backyard. You have been invaded, been conquered. Your husbands are being beheaded. Your wives are being fucked. Your children are being smashed. The funny thing is that the Yoruba cowards, they know where their problem is coming from, but they just refuse to address it. They prefer to romance evil than to speak truth to power. They know what happened to Hausas, how their land were conquered by Fulani Islamic jihadists. And the same script is being played on them today. They are not doing anything about it. They keep clapping for their leaders, bunch of cowards and psychophants. The Tinubu you are clapping for, Tinubu is old. He has fulfilled destiny. His children will never suffer. They will never suffer. You don't know what you are doing. Who cares? Let them run over your land. We don't care. In fact, if I'm posting about your land or anything that happens to you, as from today, I will just be laughing you. And again, they keep blaming Igbos for their problem as if Igbo is the cause of their foolishness. Look, the Igbos, they only came to your land to do business, period. You have stripped them of power. You've taken everything away from them. So the only thing they could resort to is to do their business. So if you allow jihadists to run over your land, that is your cup of tea. Now look at them here. They came to Ibejuleki. All these ones now, they caught them in Ibejuleki with guns and bullets. The only thing they could do, the Yorubas could do, is to be videoing. People who kidnap your children. They kidnapped teachers. They beheaded one of them. And the only thing you could do is to be videoing them. Continue.
All right, that is point number one. They are now pointing it out to your faces. Since you have refused to hear what another tribe that shows concern to you people and to every Nigerians, Igbo people have been taking the bullet for this country ever since. And Igbo people have been finding solution to this country. But we all refuse to adhere to the way out. Now you guys are suffering it, everybody's suffering it, and we are not laughing, but what we are saying is that is this true situation now. Okay? Another woman from her own angle, a Yoruba woman, I have brought her video one certain time. This time around, she is, in fact, her anger now has, times 100 from what she said before. And I'm going to play that video for you guys here so that you hear from her direct. Well, now everything is bare, very clear to everybody what is happening. These guys are everywhere. They want to overrun the whole country. But let's listen. And remember, there was a warning that if these guys do not take time, that there will be a civil war that Nigerians will, go against them. That is a warning. I showed you guys that video coming from Edmundo below the other time. So, but let's hear from Ayo, Madam Ayo.
Hello, Nigerians. It is with heavy heart I bring a conversation like this to you today. It is a conversation that I've struggled with in the last less than 24 hours, asking myself, do I really want to do this? But I know that it might be a word or a conversation that somebody needs to hear. I would plead with you that this video should go far and wide. I really want it to get to places where it should get to. So what is my conversation today? My conversation is, how do my people, my Yoruba people, organize festival in the midst of capture? I will frame it by saying one word that I've tried to ask, a big question I've asked myself. And I'm going to throw that question back to you. Listen to this question, masticate it, and ask yourself, is she saying something that makes sense? What does this really mean? And so my question is, right now, about 45 Nigerians are in the forest in Oyo State. When we began to see that these guys are moving down the west, when they had hit Kwara, it became glaring to us that they have come to the west, because the distance between Kwara and Oyo State, we all know. And so between Ogbomosho and Ibadan, Oyo, these guys hit a school, abducted 45 people, including pupils less than 6 years old, or maybe even less than 9 years old, and a teacher with her baby that maybe might just be 1 year, thereabout, or 1 year and 6 months. That's like 18 months. And the principal of a school, and in the process beheaded the maths teacher and one other person. And then by yesterday, 30th of May, decided that they will honor life a few more people if the Nigerian military pressures them. In this particular time, my people of the Yoruba extraction region of Nigeria decides that it's good enough to show affluence through a festival we call Jideoba. Join me on this journey. Let's look at it. And let's look at how do you build values, and how do you destroy values, and how do you completely eradicate morals. Culture is a people's way of life, they say, and truly it is indeed. But culture in many ways and in different forms have marred or barricaded sometimes development within a society. When we say culture is a people's way of life, it looks like our norms, our do's, our don'ts, our taboos, and all of that. Yes, that's a people's way of life. You create norms, you create do's and don'ts, you create taboos within a system of a people over time that becomes culture, of course. But when a culture is not looked closely, when there's a state capture in the midst, and when we say state capture, we mean children have been captured, society is impoverished, people are hungry, you begin to actually question what celebrations we want to do that we cannot postpone, looking at what is happening. I want to have that discussion with you today. And I say it again. Across Nigeria, we dance, doing festivals, posting soft life videos. What kind of people celebrate loudly while their own are in chains? How did we get here as a people? How did we get here where we don't gather to condemn something the way it was when we were growing up? We don't gather to shame something the way it was when we were growing up. We celebrate affluence, upon the poor people. We celebrate festivals with so much opulence in the midst of knowing that some people are held in captivity. Children, minors are beaten, even burnt their backs with rubber of hot fire. I cannot put such gory videos on my page. In Oyo State, a Yoruba land, children are in the forest. A teacher with her toddler is in captivity. So where are the mothers? The mothers at the Jide festival. The mothers who sat at this festival, the Jide festival in Ogun State, are they not mothers? What happened to the Abiyama of us, the motherhood of us? What happened to the sensitivity of that? How did we lose that as a people? When did this happen? It clearly seems and looks like Nigeria is under some kind of mysticism. Follow me on this. If the land of the Omoluabi cannot stop and say, no festival while our children are in the bushes, then the word Omoluabi has become just a decoration. And to me, that's what it has become. Because I refuse to almost comment on this, because I asked myself, Omoluabi la je, ba lo se je pe ale bere si ronu. We cannot think about our own that is in the forest. We glamorize our events at the expense of the impoverished Nigerians. We throw it at the face of the head teacher who is begging the Nigerian military to take it softly on them and find a way to negotiate. Our mothers are not on the streets. The Nigerian Union of Teachers are not on the streets. Schools are not shut down. We go on our lives as if nothing is happening. A festival that ignores the captives is not culture. It is simply performance. And you can see that it's just performance. Because I ask myself, many times I ask, these events, as beautiful as we parade them to be, what significance is it? And how is it benefiting anybody? When you say the question I want to ask, do they fall in age grades? And if they fall in age grade, what are those age grades doing in their communities? What does that look like? Please, if you know, and I do not know, right? Put it in the comment section. Don't criticize. Just tell me so that I will be maybe better educated. But what are they doing? Is it to just come out and dress in clothes and affluence? What are they affecting, impacting in their communities? I would like to know. Because to me, it's just performance. If your drums are louder than your people's cries, your tradition is empty. That is why it does not make any meaning to me. Because it seems like it's empty. I'll give you an instance. It is not comparison. It's looking at it, scrutinizing what we have become and what we celebrate and what we have what our society has become. The same 30th of May was Biafra Remembrance Day, and there were shutdowns in the East to commensurate, to remember, to ponder, to think about the lives that were lost, the 3 million plus people that were lost in the course of the war and during the war. They stayed at home. On the other hand, May 30th, Ojuku's declaration, the memory of Biafra, the pain of the people who were starved and bombed. They remembered, they shut down, they honored their dead. They also have Nnamdi Kanu in prison. And many feel that their voices are being silenced again. But even there, Remembrance is not just enough. But you know that they did it. They shut down. They stayed remembering that event. They honored their dead. Today we are celebrating Yuroba in the midst of kidnappings, killings, and disappearing of our own. Memory without action is just ritual. Let me put this all together for us quickly. I'm trying very hard not to stereotype us. And please understand I'm not doing that. I'm questioning our sensibilities. I'm beginning to ask us to think as a people. I'm beginning to ask us to scrutinize what we do as a people. What benefits, the things that we do, of what benefit is it to society? When people are starving and they see another group of people with such level of affluence and they ask, is it not better to steal? Is it not better to commit crimes? This is the consequence. When society breaks down, the consequence of society's breakdown is crime. It's crime. Yoruba with festival while children are in the forest. Igbos with remembrance while new wounds are bleeding. From the book written by our former head of state, Yakubu Gowon. Northern elites with monies parading for primaries. And there's no urgency for victims in the north that are captured everywhere. They stand and say 19 northern leaders. But yet you see them parading money. The education level of their people is almost zero. 88% poverty in the north. And yet they open cartons and they're sharing money. I want to leave us with what the danger of what we're normalizing as a society. Loud for culture. Loud for politics. Loud for tribes. But quiet for kidnap. Quiet for torture. And then quiet for the forgotten. This is what we are normalizing. And so I will say to us that we truly love the image of culture more than the real people that are involved in that culture. A true culture pauses. A true culture pauses its celebration when children are missing. A true king cannot dance while his subjects are in chains. I think I'm going to continue this video to look at really, I have been doing a whole lot of research on the different regions of our country and the minorities. And I'm going to be extrapolating on that as we go on. Follow me on this journey. I would like to close with this. This is not about hitting on Yoruba, my own people, or even the Igbos, or maybe the Fulanis and Hausas, because I don't like to call them Fulani Hausa. Fulanis and the Hausas. What I am trying to do is to say to us, we need to pause, reflect, act, collectively save our nation. Join me as I drain the swamp. The conversation that I'm bringing here is conversations to drain the swamp, cause healing, bridge gaps, and see that we build a nation where truly peace and justice reigns. As always, my name is Aya, and this is our...
Don't go away, stay with me, and I'm going to, surprise you and shock you with this recent update. But before then, let's hear what this guy is saying. He said that 10 Igbo men is equal to 100 Yoruba men. That is the calculation now. Is it true? Do you believe that? If you don't, let us know in the comment section. Then if you believe that maybe one Igbo man is equal to 100 Yoruba men, let's also hear what you say about that. So let's watch.